Hey guys, welcome in this new video. I hope that all of you are doing great. So quite a special video today. It's a topic that I haven't really talked about before on my channel. And I was really wondering, for quite some time, should I make a video on this or should I even make multiple videos on this? And I came to the conclusion that, why not, right? Why not just share more of my knowledge with you guys? Maybe that it could help some of you and just improve your trading. So what we will talk about today is how to basically create a global macro picture of the world and how this will help you in your trading. Okay. Now, just before that we start, one quick, disclaimer that I should give you guys is that this is quite advanced knowledge. Okay. It's not, something that is basic. It's really more to the professional side of trading. Not a lot of retail traders know about this or even look for this. And I would say that if you actually understand this big topic, you have a much greater chance to actually become profitable. That is something that I also cover more in the weekly reviews that I do for Reversal Master students. So as you guys know, I have a course, and within this course, I do a weekly update video of markets. And in this video, I talk a lot more about the macro picture and how markets are working together and things like that. And then if one market does something, what will be the impact for other markets and so on and so forth. So that is more for the course, as I said, but in this video, I'm going to talk about how to basically dive more into this. And as I said, how it can help you. I might do more videos like that in the future. If you guys like this kind of video, well, just leave a like. And if there are many likes and positive feedback on this video, I will surely do more in the future. All right. Enough, talking like that. Let's get right into it. So how to create a global macro picture of the world? Why is it important and how can it help you? So first of all, well, let's start with one question. Why is that even important, right? Why do we need to understand the whole world, how it works for trading, okay? And to generate good trade ideas? Well, the answer is pretty simple, and it's actually within the question itself. The world is one big puzzle, okay? And everything is correlated in some ways or not to other things, okay? So that's really, really important to understand. Now, these correlations sometimes will break, sometimes they will, we will have new correlations. Of course, that's perfectly normal. As the world evolves, as everything is developing, there are new things that will come true and older things that will disappear. That's perfectly normal. Now, it's really important to understand that everything is kind of correlated, as I said, in some ways within markets. And so by understanding all of these different correlations, you will be able to generate much better trade ideas. And these better trade ideas will help you to get better results. So a higher probability of your trades working. And this will just make you a lot more profitable over the long term. And so the process that I'm explaining right now is exactly the same process that all professional traders go through, or hedge funds or banks, whatever, right? They're all doing the same thing, and it makes sense because that's what is working the best. So you need to have a global macro picture of the world, and then you will try to make links between all the different parts of it. This will give you trade ideas, and then you will be able to go on the market, do your own chart analysis, take these trades, and then manage these positions, right? So following a top-down approach. But the first big part of this top-down approach is to have a global macro picture of the world. And so if we look at markets right now, I'm just going to give you guys a few examples so that you really understand what we're even talking about here. Well, for example, right? Since the pandemic, at the really beginning, we had a big up move on the USD. And then after that, when the Fed started their quantitative easing program, then we saw the USD losing value. And since then, it has been in a pretty strong downtrend. Okay, so that is one market that we can look at. And now the mistake that a lot of retail traders do, and I'm pretty sure that most of you guys also do this, is that you just look at one chart in itself and you think that you have all the information, right? So you look at the dollar index or you look at Euro USD and you think that within this one chart, you have all the information needed to make a proper trade and to generate an idea, right? but the truth is that you are missing most of the information. And the reason why is because, well, if we continue with this example, the USD is not only impacted or cannot just be analyzed by looking at it itself. You need to look at everything that can impact this one currency, and then you will be able to understand much better what's actually going on. So now if we ask ourselves the question, what can impact the USD, right? Well, first of all, you will have the stock market, right? So the US stock market mainly, but also other stock markets across the world. So the stock market, you will have yields that can definitely have a big impact on the dollar. You will have other currencies which also have an impact on the dollar. You will have, for example, gold, which can impact the dollar. Most of the time, it's more the dollar that impacts gold, but the opposite can also be true if you understand the correlation that there is between these two different assets. And I could just talk on and on like this forever and give you guys so many different examples, but it just goes to show you that looking at one chart in itself is not enough for you to generate a proper idea of what's actually going on in the world. If we use another very common example, it will be the stock market, right? I just named it as an influence to the USD, but a lot of people will just invest their money in the US stock market, but they will not take into consideration so many other things that have to be taken in consideration when it comes to buying different stocks. So first of all, right, one question that is very obvious to ask, but a lot of people don't ask themselves this question: do you really want, right, to have the US stock market, right? Why just going with US? Why not looking at other countries, right? Like, there are so many different countries in the world. There are so many different stock market in the world. Why, strictly go to the US, right? Is this really the place where you will get the best potential returns? Well, I'll tell you right now, the answer is no, not right now. So again, that's just one other thing that you can look at, right? So do you really want to go into the US stock market, right? After that, if, for whatever reason you say yes, then okay, fine enough. But then you need to look at other things as well, right? So you need to look at the USD, which will also have an impact on the stock market. So again, just like gold and the USD, the impact can come from one to another, and they can influence another, right? Like, it's all of these are different relationships, but they all influence each other. So you need to look at the USD, you need to look at gold, you need to look at yields, you need to look at other stock market. Then you need to look at, obviously, monetary policy. You need to look at what's going on in other countries, because if other stock markets are much more interesting than the US stock market, this can drive investment to other countries, and therefore it might not necessarily, perform not well, but it might not perform as well as other places. And obviously the goal is to have the best return, right? That's why you are watching this video. That's why you want to be a trader. You want to maximize your returns on your investment. And so, once you get this bigger picture in mind, once you get this global macro framework that you will use to generate ideas, everything becomes much more easier to do. And it becomes much more clear. You understand what you're doing. You understand the trades that you are taking. So, just to give you guys an example, in the last few months, I've taken trades on the Singapore stock market. Now, as you guys know, I don't like to really share my positions publicly. Most of the time, I keep this private or for my students, which in the weekly review, as I said, I do share these trades. But here's one trade then that I have that I've been in for quite some time. So the Singapore stock market, these trades are in profit. It's going pretty well. And I believe that they will, and they are already generating me better returns than if I had gone into the US stock market. And so this is just one example, but it shows you guys that if you are able to optimize your trades like that in a way that you will be able to pick the best place, or what you think will be the best place to place and to put a trade on, then over the long term, this will make such a massive difference. Okay, and that is extremely important. Another trade that just came to my mind is the AUD Swiss franc trade that I took a few weeks ago. And AUD, CHF is not really a currency pair that a lot of people will look at, right? So when we think about the AUD currency, well, most people will compare it to AUD USD or AUD yen, for example, right? So these are, general forex pairs and the most common forex traded pairs that people will look at. So AUD USD. Now the thing is that if I had taken the same trade that I took on AUDCHF, but instead on AUD USD, right now I would be losing money on this trade. So I had one view, which was that the AUD currency would gain value, and then I tried to match it to another currency which would lose value, which would create a gap between the two currencies and then give me the best potential trade. Now, if I had just did what most retail traders do, which is not really think through their trades and just go with what seems normal, so taking AUD USD, right now I would be losing money. But because I did much more research, because I really tried to find the best opportunity possible, I went with AUD CHF, and instead of losing money, I am making money. Okay, so these are just two examples that came to my mind right now, but I could probably give you guys so many other examples just with the trades that I have right now, or the trades that I took in the past, or the trades that I will take in the future. But this just goes to show you that if you do your homework, if you understand everything about the markets, and believe me, there are a lot of things that you will need to understand. And I'm far from understanding everything. I'm not, a guru. I don't have all the answers. I don't have all the knowledge in the world, right? But as time goes by, as you gain more and more and more knowledge about how the world works, believe me, your trade ideas will get much better and your trading results will get much better. It will be a direct result of doing the proper work before. But my point with this first video on this topic is really just to kind of show you guys and to put it in your face that you need to do more work than what you think you have to do. Okay, trading is not just about looking at a chart, doing a quick analysis and taking a trade. That's not the game that you are playing, guys. Okay, like think about it. Like who is your competition in trading, right? You are a retail trader. Who are you trading against on the markets, right? Who are the big guys who make money and you are trading against them, right? Well, hedge funds, banks, right? And so within these places, these businesses, they have thousands of very smart people who went to university, who studied in finance. You have traders, you have people with a lot of experience. Like, you are competing against big sharks, okay? So do you think that you can beat those big institutions with just basic average retail trader knowledge, right? Like think about it, ask yourself this question, right? Can I really become an amazing trader with the same knowledge that everyone uses and the same principles that everyone applies within their trading, right? Support, resistance, and blah, 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 right? All these things. Can I really become good with this? Well, probably not, right? Or your, probability of success is very low. And so as you know, in trading, we work with probabilities. So maybe that you should try to improve and try to optimize your probabilities. And so the first step of doing that is to kind of realize what most people are doing and trying to do the opposite. So as I said, I would say 99% of retail traders, they don't have this global macro view of the world. They don't understand how currencies work with each other. They don't understand how commodities prices can affect currencies. Then they don't understand the relationship with the different stock market and things like that. As I said at the beginning of the video, the world that we live in is one big puzzle with many, many, many different aspects of it. So the better you understand all of these aspects and how they work together, the better you will understand the world in itself, then the better your trade ideas will be and the better your results will become. So as I said also at the beginning of the video, this is quite advanced knowledge. Not a lot of people do this. Not a lot of people know about this. So it will take you a very long time to learn everything that is related to that. As you guys know, I've been trading markets for almost 6 years now. Actually, it will be 6 years in a few months. So I have quite, good experience and I've spent an enormous amount of time in front of the markets. So, it just goes to show that it took me a very long time to get to this point where I can understand better the world, and this will help me in my trading. So be patient within this whole process. Don't be too hard on yourself as well. Okay, it's really important to do this. But as time goes by, as you develop a better view of the world, as you understand the relationship between all different markets and how one thing can impact another and then impact another, right? You will then have a better understanding of just how things are working, and this will help you to generate much better trade ideas. And that is the reason why I have a lot of trades as well, you know, running on markets right now that seem quite impressive. I mean, you know, the run up on oil, which I've been in since about $42 my entry was, and now it's trading around 60 something. The soybean trade, the sugar trade, the corn trade, right? These are some of my other positions. I mean, I've been in these bull markets since almost the very beginning of them. And so there is a reason for that. It's not just luck. It's not just coincidence, right? Like, I've done extremely profound research on these markets and deep analysis, which were going to fit into my framework, and then this enabled me to see these opportunities and to take these trades. So when you just look at the positions themselves, they look quite simple. They look just like, you know, a regular trend following system would do. But when you go deeper about it, you will see that there are so many different reasons why, you know, I could have been interested in buying, you know, soybean or corn or really any other commodities which have been going up quite a lot. So, you know, I cannot go too deep into this because number one, the video would be way too long, and also I want to keep some things for the course as well. But, you know, that was the first video on this topic. I went a bit all over the place, but it's really just to show you guys that, again, you know, you have so many different parts of the economy and of the world. Everything is correlated in some ways or not to other assets. So again, you need to build this picture of the world by understanding how these different categories are operating within this bigger picture, and also how they are operating with each other. And so this will help you to generate better ideas and better trade results. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Maybe a bit complex, maybe a bit more advanced than what I normally talk about on YouTube. But I wanted to share with you guys some of this knowledge. And as I said, if I see that this video has a good feedback, I will not hesitate to do more videos in the futures on this. Maybe show you guys as well some relationship between different markets and how you can use that in your trading and how it can help you. So if you guys want to see this on the channel, don't hesitate to leave a like, as I said. And yeah, so on that, take care, trade with care, manage your money well, and I will see you in my next video. Bye bye.